first thing I'm doing today is drawing in my guideline. I'm not actually prepping the eye area today, surprise surprise. This is an autumnal, maybe more so grungy makeup look, and I'm not really fussed on if the blending is perfect. If anything, I think it would add to that grungy feel, and that's why I'm not priming. The first shadow I'm going in with is this beautiful burgundy shade called Sexy. I don't really own any shadows that are similar to the ones in this palette. They're so unique and gorgeous, and they're really easy to work with. I'm blending that burgundy colour onto the outer third of my eye for the minute. I'll come back to it later. For now, I'm just focusing on building up that intensity. I'm using two different blending brushes, so one to apply the product and then one which is more dense and kind of sturdy, and I'm using that to buff away any harsh edges. For the remaining portion of the eyelid, I'm using this brown shade that has purple and gold flecks running through it. I was quite surprised that despite the fact that I didn't use a primer or a base, combined with the texture of the product, that I didn't get any fallout, like none whatsoever. Now I'm going back in with that burgundy shade and I'm applying it to the inner half of the crease just to connect everything together and also to blend the edge of the lid shade where it meets at the crease. I'm adding some depth now with this brown shade. Sexy is actually our transition colour and you won't see too much of this shade in the finished look. You may wonder then why I bothered to apply it to the lid only to cover it up. Well, like I said, this is the transition shade, so it's going to appear like a halo over our other shadows. To get that nice gradient effect, I started on the lid so that the most pigmentation is there and it gradually fades the higher towards the brow bone it gets. This process would have been a lot harder if I had have applied the brown on the lid first and started with the burgundy shade in the crease and then tried to fade it from there. The last colour I'm using to deepen the eyes is this black shade here. Because of the work that I've already done in terms of gradually building up my colours from light to dark, I can leave the black just resting on the outer third of the eyelid. There's no need to bring it up into the crease. However, to ensure that it does fade into the shade above it, I'm taking a blending brush and I'm just blending in between the two colours. Because this look is kind of dark and smoky, I decided to brighten up around the tear duct of the eye with this shimmery white shade. I chose a highlight shade that wasn't subtle at all because I liked the contrast between the light and dark on the eyes. I have a full tutorial on how to do winged liner using my dot technique, and if you haven't seen that, I'll link it below. If you want to use that technique for this look, you can do it and draw your outline before you apply any shadow. Once the shadow is on, you can then fill in the outline with your liquid liner, and I've demonstrated this process in a few videos before, so I'll link them below so you can see what I mean. If you do your shadows first, like in this case, especially with dark shadows like these, it can be hard to see the dots. What you can do is you can use a black eyeshadow for the outline first. Using eyeshadow in this way is quite handy because if you mess up, you can just blend the shadow away and then reline. Once you're happy with the shape of your liner, you can draw over top of that with your gel or your liquid, and it's just a good way to do it if you're not really confident with liner. It'll prevent you from making mistakes. I applied some lashes and now I'm running the burgundy along the lower lash line and I'm taking it all the way into the inner corner. Due to the tone of the shadow, if it's left on its own, it can make the eyes appear a little irritated, so you want to apply something between the lash line and the burgundy shade. I'm taking that brown again, but this time on an angled brush, and I'm just pressing it into the lashes. I don't think this particular look would be complete without some black eyeliner. I wanted the waterline to be pitch black, so I went for the Inglot gel one, and I just pressed it on there. Finally then, I'm applying a couple of coats of mascara to blend my lashes in with the false ones, and then that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.